Today I'm interviewing my stepfather about the attack on 9/11. What is your full name?
My full name is Brian Kuhn.
Where are you from?
I am originally from Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, and I live in Berkeley, Michigan.
How old were you on September 11, 2001?
30 years old.
Okay. What do you recall about life before 9/11?
Life before 9/11. I would say it was just a little bit more relaxed. Everything. Nobody thought anyone could ever do what they did on 9/11 before it happened. So just brought a whole new kind of fear into America.
Well, what about like security at like airports and other locations and how they're a lot stricter now?
I think that it's necessary. It's obviously kind of a hassle and whatnot, but if it makes us safer, I'd say it's worth it.
How did you find out about the attacks?
I was actually out of town on a golf trip up north. We had just started it. I was there with just one friend of mine, and it was a trip with 12 people that go. And we were the first ones there, and we got there the night before 9/11 and stayed up really late and woke up to a phone call, and my buddy went to the phone and realized there were like 37 voicemails on the phone, and answered the phone, and it was his mom, and she said, "Why didn't you answer the phone?" And we just didn't hear it, and she said, "Turn on the TV," and we did, and right at that moment the first tower fell, and we just were kind of in shock and blown away and didn't know what to think, and so that was that.
Would you say that's your most vivid memory, or do you have another one?
Vivid memory, exactly what does that mean? Of 9/11?
Yeah.
I just remember watching TV for a long time until it was just really too much, and we just felt beat up. So we actually went golfing and kind of take our mind off it for a few hours, and couldn't find anyone at the golf course. It was open, but there was nobody there, not even working in there. And so we just grabbed a golf cart and went golfing, and came back. Nobody was there. And on the way back to the cottage that we were staying at, I just remember driving by the gas station and seeing like 100 cars in line waiting to get gas. Obviously, because they just had no idea what was going to happen, and obviously wanted to be prepared and able to leave with a full tank if anything else happened. Nobody really knew what to think.
What did you think of the government's reaction to the attacks in the day and months after the attack?
I think everybody kind of thought the government was doing a good job. Definitely within the days after, we had George Bush was kind of new, and he stepped up to the plate and kind of got the nation feeling patriotic and all that. Mayor Giuliani in New York, same thing. He seemed to do a good job with all that stuff. As months went by, they started to figure out kind of who was responsible and where they were located, and so they started attacking Afghanistan, and then a few months later they started pushing the whole idea on attacking Iraq and getting Saddam Hussein out, saying he had big, bad, huge mass weapons of mass destruction, and that ended up being a lie. But I mean, it was, people wanted payback. They wanted to go to war, so they kind of believed anything.
How have the government's action regarding surveillance of phone calls, emails, and social media made you feel?
Oh, everybody feels differently about that. Me personally, it doesn't really bother me. I'm not ultra private. I don't really care if the government's listening to my phone calls or not. Because if they're listening to mine and listening to everyone else's, then they obviously have a better chance of stopping something terrible from happening. So I think the main people that would care are people that have something to hide more than anything else.
What do you believe is our nation's greatest security threat, and why?
Well, that's a toughie. I think it's the fact that in this day and age now, it's apparent that these, any of these attacks seem to be done by people who are willing to die to do them. So it just seems like it's an impossibility to stop them. If somebody's willing to take their own life and take as many innocent people with them. That's kind of what's different about since 9/11. Before, people, put bombs places and they would do things, or they'd hijack planes and ask for something, and we, potentially you'd give it to them, and then they'd be let go and it would resolve itself. But now, 19 guys crashed 4 planes into buildings with them in those planes. willing to die for their religion. It's a whole different ballgame.
How has 9/11 changed you?
How has 9/11 changed me? Well, every year I think about it a lot on the anniversary. I'm somewhat obsessed with watching. I just can't. I watch the shows and the news clips and things like that. And I just can't believe that those buildings fell down. I mean, it's just unbelievable to me. It has changed me in a sense that not taking things for granted in terms of our country, and a willingness to do whatever it is that was necessary if I was needed, to keep us safe, to keep us free, all that.
Thank you for your input and thoughts. That is it.